So these days there's lots of talk on surrender. Surrender. How does that correlate with body-based therapy? Can you speak about surrender in relation to body-based therapy?
That's such a good question, and the question makes me smile. So the question was, how does body-based therapy relate to surrender? And straight away, as soon as the question was asked, my attention flooded my body and there was a surrender inside. Now, what does that mean? That can sound really sort of weird. Oh, right, what does that mean, there was a surrender inside? So I'm going to try and explain in slightly more practical terms what that means. And I'll do it by telling a story about my own life and how I discovered this. And I've told this story many times on the channel, and I'll probably tell it many times again. But there was a time in my life where I was completely caught in a very intense psychology and completely cut off from my body, from my feelings. And so my psychology, my thoughts were very, very fearful, very, very painful, very, very full of low self-esteem and all of this negativity, and I was completely cut off from my body. And the way that I found freedom, because I was on a massive search for freedom from the pain and the suffering that the psychology was causing, was I connected to my body. And in connecting to the feelings within my body, I came away from the difficulty and the suffering within the mind. And I found that if I connected deeply to my body, if I filled my body with attention and allowed awareness to come into the body and fill the body, then, like I say, I came out of the mind, I came out of the suffering, and there was a freedom within that. And a certain point came in my journey where, for a while, I felt like, this is me. I'm feeling my body, and I'm getting freedom for myself. And that's true to a certain extent, but then one day I realized that awareness, when I feel my body, when I place attention in my body, awareness is simply flooding me. And I am giving my mind away to presence. I'm giving my life away to presence. I'm giving my personal willpower. I'm giving the suffering self away to something higher, something more good, something more free. And so you don't have to try to surrender. You don't have to do practices to try to surrender. Simply by doing this one simple thing, having the willingness and the courage to feel the body, surrender happens all of its own accord. Now I know if somebody was to say to me, give your mind away to something greater, surrender to something greater, I know exactly what to do. There's an inner opening to something where I can just open and I can give the pain of the mind and give the pain of the body away. I can surrender to life. And I learned that skill. I learned the ability to do that by simply bowing my head and feeling the body. When you feel the body, you are surrendered. When you feel the body, you are in a state of surrender. So body-based therapy, whether you realize it or not, is a deeply spiritual practice. And what I mean by that is by feeling the body without even trying to awaken to your being, you awaken to your being. You surrender to your being. You give yourself away to your being. Yeah, thank you.